Delia, character development. Patrick, character development. How do you see Delia? Right. So we were speaking about Delia, and this is character
Saturday, August 22nd, 2015, 9:45.
Yep.
Go ahead.
And so we were talking about character development, and I was asking you how you saw Delia, because what we're looking at Delia from the points of view from different people, so that she can be a fully developed character and not just one-dimensional. Because I think the problem with a lot of characters on TV is they're seen as one-dimensional. Like even Buffy, she was always strong. She was always the leader. She was always this. They never, and then when they tried to make her, when they tried to show her, different sides, different emotions, it was like, but she's Buffy. And in fact, they would always say that. Oh, let's get Buffy. Oh, she's Buffy. It was never.
She's strong.
Yeah, it was never. I don't want to become. I don't want Delia to be this. Oh, it's Delia. Oh, let's go get Delia. Delia will solve this because she's not a superhero. Well, she's not any of that. She's a person going through, but she is, she's leading the movement. But she's not a superhero, so how do you see Delia?
Well, before all this happened, I see Delia as a person who goes to work, does a damn good job. She, very nice, very caring. During potluck, she always brings the biggest dish. Not to show off, just because she really cares. She's a decent cook. Let me see.
Good cook.
Good cook. Okay.
Good.
She's really pretty, but not just on the outside, but on the inside. Dark skin complexion, natural hair wearing. When you look at her, when you first see her, you're amazed by her beauty, but then when you talk to her, you're really amazed by her beauty. So yeah, that's how I see her. I just see her as a very calm person who you would never think will become a leader of a movement. You would never think it.
Just a normal,
roundaway, girl. And we want to perceive her being that maybe in the first few episodes, but then her world just changed.
Yes.
Within a few episodes.
Within a day, actually.
Yeah, its whole world changes. As soon as that first stream hits, which is the first thing we will see when the show starts. When she wakes up and looks around, she will her world will change that moment.
Let's talk about Patrick.
We haven't really thought of Patrick, but I guess what is Patrick?
Patrick is her boyfriend.
I know, but
boyfriend.
What is he though? This
redneck.
No.
Yes, the complete opposite of Delia. Like you'd never even think she would be with a guy like that. That's gonna give some interest. That's an interesting plot twist.
What does he do for a living?
Mechanic.
Okay. So he's a mechanic, redneck.
Which is why he's salt of the earth, meat and potatoes, going along.
He does all the dirty work.
Yeah, he goes along with
mechanic.
The program. He goes along with the program.
Goes along with the program.
Which is why he can't understand Delia's, this evolution. He can't understand the evolution. He can't understand the spiritual part because he's meat and potatoes. He looks at TV. He has his beer. He is just...
He's the one that watches the news.
Exactly.
In the morning.
Exactly.
That's his thing. He watches the news in the morning with coffee and...
He has coffee every morning.
Right.
And he doesn't do, the house is cleaned, everything, Delia does everything. So then when she goes into the dream space, then he's like, why isn't shit getting done around here? Why are there these dirty dishes? What's going on? What is going on with you? And when she tries to explain it, that's why he can't understand it. Number one, he doesn't have the DNA.
Right, you gotta get this.
Number one, he doesn't have the DNA, and number two, it's just not. It's not his world. His world is perfect. He's not being, he's not one of the people that'll go missing or anything. For him, it's just like, okay, this is woo-woo stuff. All right, I can't get with this.
I've seen a very tall white guy. Very tall. Like, even taller than me.
No.
Like, Palmdale tall.
No, that's just it. He's not tall. He is so regular. You'd be surprised that someone as beautiful as Delia would even get with him. And they actually embody the imbalance of the energy. Because it's the male energy that dominates everything around them. That's why he's like, what are you talking about? What you talking about, Willis? That is exactly how he comes at it. He's like, we need for this stuff to get done. And that's why he leaves. But also, he does love her. And that's why we were talking about yesterday. He says, I just love you too much. That's why he gets with the menace. He gets with the menace because he's like, I'm trying to fight. I think that the forwards are a problem. I think they're messing up the government. I think they're messing up the country. You know what I mean? He's just that salt of the earth. He's just that God, country, guns, that type of guy. And so, when Delia starts going through all of this and he's like, you going to lead a movement? I need you to clean my kitchen. That.
No, he's not like that though.
No.
I don't want him to be misogynist.
No, he's not misogynist, but
No,
he
not like that.
but he starts to get the vision. He starts to understand. Yeah, there may be something wrong here.
Well, I think the menace helped him understand.
Yeah,
because it's like, why is the government after you? It's.
Yeah, it starts getting crazy sauce for him. He's like,
what the hell is this?
Exactly.
So then all he thinks about is, okay, I don't understand. Guy. No, he's not a bad guy. He's not a misogynist. I mean, please don't get, babe. No.
No, he's not a misogynist. No, but he's just a guy.
No,
he's just a guy.
He's a dude that
they have a schedule. They have a ritual.
He may not understand what's going on, but he does help her.
Yes, and the thing is with Patrick, you see him throughout the thing. Like when she needs help, there will even after
Patrick is always there for her.
Right, exactly. So you see, she's about to be killed, or she's about to, something's about to happen, and then Patrick shows up. And he leaves her, but he's not really ever left her.
Right. All right.
He can't leave her. Just like when he beats up the menace, he's like, I just love you too much. And because he can't understand what's going on with the evolution and with the whole... He understands she's going to leave him in the end.
Right.
But he loves her too much.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah. Feel that. Feel that.
Okay.
Feel that.
All right.
Yes, feel
so
that.
I think we got that part.
Well,
now, let's
also talk about...
Harold. Because Harold's going to be in every show.
Yeah.
So we got to make sure that we have him down pat.
I think Harold needs to be older. And Harold needs to be older, and he's like the actual antithesis to the Menace. Like, the Menace and Harold are like, she's like his elder. Harold is Delia's elder. So he begins to tell her things. He talks to her. When she's her counsel. Do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like, so when she needs somebody to go to. And Harold is kind of like a leader as well. But he lets Delia take the front. But when Delia has a problem. Okay, kind of like Buffy and... What's his name? Her
Angel.
No, her watcher.
Oh, right.
Exactly. When he... Giles, yes. He is always in the background. He is always watching her. He loves her completely. It's almost like a father-daughter relationship. And
maybe he never had a daughter.
Maybe he never did.
Or had children.
No, he never had children. But
so he takes her in like as a...
Yeah, he sees her as his daughter. And that's her counsel. Like, when she has a problem, when she needs somewhere to go to, she sees him as a father figure as well.
And he helps. Oh, then Harold begins to help Delia in the current world. In the current time, Delia begins to help. Harold begins to help Delia recruit, helping other forwards.
Exactly.
To make that pass through.
He is a huge help.
When she begins to better understand what's going on, with herself and everything, she actually seeks guidance.
Always.
Even though they live in two different cities, they're able to communicate somehow.
Right.
Which they probably gain telepathy or something like that.
Right, and Harold and Delia make their way to each other so that they're in proximity. So they actually do physically start living in the same place.
And you know what? Let's do this a little bit differently. We always see telepathy on TV where they actually talk to each other in people's minds. Now let's do it this way. When Delia is like in a corner somewhere and she needs help, she kind of like goes, and then Harold was like,
that's empathy.
Okay. Yeah. And what I'm doing is, Delia looks up in the sky like she hears something, and Harold's like shaking his head, looking in the sky too, and Delia's like, and then she says, okay, and then goes. So right. That it's not talking. It's more like vision. You don't, when people have telepathy, you don't talk to someone in the mind. You show images. Exactly. Because that's how the mind works.
Exactly.
The mind hardly really speaks.
Exactly.
But you see its images and you reflect what you see in your mind. And so basically it's the same thing.
Exactly.
She gets help that way.
Exactly. And she gets, and he is able to help other people in that same way and bring the people to her.
Once he understands what's going on.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Which is so hot.
Oh, yeah.
So, I think with
all right, go ahead.
Okay, so
she's part of the show too. No.
Well, she is because they are gonna have a cat. But Delia never got with the cat, and seeing the cat doing that, or just starting to, she develops a relationship with the cat, even though she's never been a cat person or even really like an animal person.
He's a cat person.
Yeah.
What's his name again?
Patrick.
Patrick. Okay, Patrick. And so Harold. Yeah, he's an older gentleman, and he helps. He finds a way to communicate with the other forwards, and can basically hear the whole world of forwards at one time. So when a forward is being, investigated, hunted down, or whatever, he helps him out, and does the best he can.
Yeah, he's not gonna get everybody.
He's not gonna get everybody. Some will get caught up. I mean, there's some situations where maybe someone's in a corner and they can't climb a wall, or they're too scared to jump a building, or whatever the case.
Hey, the menace is just that good.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
he's really good.
He's good.
The menace. Let me tell you, he's not nothing like the funny criminals of the
it's not gonna be
movies,
everybody getting away,
like Alone, not nothing like that. No, this guy is good.
Yeah, he's good at what he does.
He's good at what he's a bounty hunter type good.
And he's gonna get many of the forwards.
He's gonna get a lot of them, but he's not gonna be able to get to them all.
Nope.
The police and all that helps out a lot by capturing some of them and put them in mental hospitals and
Right,
prisons.
exactly. A lot of times,
Coming up with
well, because he is starting to come to the idea of the dream space and the forward, he's not going to kill them all. There's going to come a point where he's going to stop killing and just keep turning their names in.
to turn their names in. So little by little, you can see him transforming into, okay, I'm one of these people, but he does use his gift to catch people. Um, hmm.
No, that's his gift. His gift is being able to connect with people and learning people and people trusting him like right off the bat or
Right,
whatever.
right. He's a very nice guy. Yes, he is.
Yeah, he is.
This guy, he can come in. He comes off being nice, warm. You would never think this guy is a danger to you when you talk to him.
Exactly. He's like your guy next door. He's like your grandpa or your dad or.
He's not that old, but yeah, like a father.
Like your dad. He's like,
Right.
He's like, oh, okay. For some older women, it's like, hey, this is a guy I could get with.
Right.
Yeah.
Women of his age are actually, he's handsome and.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I can do this. And
Right.
you just don't ever see that about him, and that is his gift.
Mm-hmm. All right, keep talking.
That's his gift. His gift is just being able to get with them, and that's how he's able to get. But
He can talk to other guys. He's able to.
He's the guy that every guy wants to be, and he's the guy that every woman wants to be with.
Right.
That's exactly who the Menace is. That's exactly who Charles is. And he knows this, and this has always been his gift. This is how he was able to rise up so far in the ranks of the government. So he, uses that gift to get into the dream space. But as he goes further along, he's like, I'm killing my own. And I can't keep doing it. I can't keep doing it. I'm killing my own. And so then he stops actually killing and he starts capturing. And then he stops.
In dream space, what if he likes horses?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk to you about animals. Yeah.
He finally sees a horse that he really loves,
Mm-hmm.
and just starts crying because he always wanted to
Have a horse.
have a horse. But he lives in a city. He lives in, maybe somewhere near D.C. or something. So maybe what changes him eventually, and this would be further down the line, is that he sees a horse in his vision, and he's like, wow. And then over time, he begins to ride the horse. He begins to tame the horse and starts to ride it eventually.
But then that's when he begins to see that I could actually live here. I could actually
Right.
be here. I could actually be away from all this.
But he still has his employer
right.
to deal with.
Well, no, his employer starts coming after him. Remember, he gets incarcerated.
And then to get out, he gets out, but he does smart. He helps people instead.
Exactly. So he starts to double agent.
Right.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I like that. And that final scene where Delia doesn't really know that he converted over.
Right. Where Patrick beats him up.
Right.
But by that point,
He's already converted over. Right. But they didn't know that.
Right. Patrick doesn't know it because before.
Though he was always in pursuit of it.
Right. Well, no, before, he had gotten Patrick to try and, sell Delia out.
Right.
So then, at that point, it was like, that's all Patrick knew. Patrick didn't know because he's never been able to go into the dream space. So he has no idea.
Right.
And the dream space changes you. It prepares you for the evolution. This is hot. All right, so this is where we're at with character development. So I think we've discussed Delia, Patrick, we Harold, and then of course we talked about the menace, because the menace seems to be like the most important thing. So do we want to start to develop some of the other characters? Well, the thing is, there's the geeky, computer guy. We haven't even gotten a name for him. We need to develop him as well. So let's talk about him for a minute, because I can't write what we don't know. And he's not a ghost in the situation.
No, he isn't.
So I need you to tell me about that geeky computer guy. Smart. He's also handsome. And he protects Delia as well. But he protects her as a friend.
But that's a totally platonic relationship.
Right. He's like a brother. Mm-hmm. So that's how the energy works. Their energy is balancing because they're like almost brother and sister. Right. Okay, so tell me about him. Here.
Well, I have to think about it.
Okay, Okay, the geek computers guy's name is Gideon. Giedon. Gideon. Of course, with a name like Gideon, he's going to have some problems. So, it almost dictated his path. But yes, his name is Gideon. Like you've never heard.
Gideon and Delia met in college.
Yeah.
And maybe one day they.
Well, you need to talk to the phone. Here, you're telling the story. But we've heard how the audio sounds when we're too far away.
Okay. So Gideon and Delia meet in college. They both lived in the dorms. I mean, I'm just giving you like a little scenario here. They both live in the dorms, and Delia was having problems with her computer, and she was, Gideon just happened to be walking by and heard her talking to another friend about her computer problems.
Talking to her computer.
And so that.
Her being pissed off at the computer.
Maybe the door was open or something.
Yeah.
Okay. And so Gideon just happened to be passing by and saw her, and of course Gideon's gonna.
And he says, "Do you need some help?"
Do you need some help? Gideon thinking that he can probably, woo her way. But then when they started talking, they just good buddies. And they hit it off really well as friends. Totally platonic. Not platonic, nothing like, at first, he's going like, yeah, in his mind, he's thinking Delia is beautiful. But he helps her with the computer. And like I said, Delia is very nice. He's not like, a bully or, that type that mean girl that be like, okay, get out of my house. No, she actually talks to him and they become really good friends.
Right.
Yeah.
So Gideon, I love that name, actually. I love the name for him, Gideon. I love the name Gideon. So because the path to Gideon is the path to freedom. So, yep. So he leads them on the path, even though he will never. It's kind of like, almost like Moses. Moses led them to the path to evolution, but he would never get there himself. And he knew it, and he didn't care. He was 110% into making sure, because he loved Delia so much. Right. He wanted to make sure she got to the path. No holds barred. And he also adopted no fucks to give. Which, if you know Gideon is kind of like Dwayne Wayne in season 2. Yeah, he's like Dwayne Wayne in season 2 of A Different World. Geeky, giddy, trying to get a girl, but smart, and you could see his potential. And as it progresses, you see him growing stronger. You see him getting more confidence. You just see him becoming the man that he needs to be. And that enables him to allow Delia to make the transition to evolve.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Because evolution is different for each and every one of us. And sometimes it's just for us to grow. But cool thing is, Gideon evolves too. And it's it's unexpected. You think to the very, 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 very end that he didn't get the mark. He didn't get you just think to the very end, it's not going to happen for him.
Right. Oh, but it does. And he's surprised.
Yes. And so is Delia. Because as she sheds her human skin,
his skin starts falling.
so does his.
Maybe the alien granted him
A gift for helping Delia.
even though she wasn't chosen at first.
Yes.
He's like, you help my daughter, you don't deserve to stay here.
Yeah.
You deserve
Okay, speak that.
Oh, I like that.
Speak that.
Okay, no, you speak it. Come on.
Yes. That is amazing. Yes. Because at the end, the alien father is so grateful for how Gideon has helped and assisted and protected his daughter that Gideon evolves as well.
I like that.
I love it. Boop. All right. So we've talked about all the characters. So now we're going to develop the characters. I've talked it. Antonio's going to type it. As I always say, evolve or die. Make the choice to make the journey forward.
Okay, here's an idea of what the aliens look like. We all seen Star Trek, Star Wars, and many other, movies about aliens. We even seen Independence Day where the aliens still had some form of, like they had two eyes, humanoid, where they got eyes, nose, mouth, I don't think the aliens in Independence Day had mouths because they used telepathy to talk, but imagine that you are made of pure metallic energy. And so, like their bodies are made of titanium, just the same way as when you look at Transformers, I know, stupid movie, but I'm just kind of giving an example here. Those beings, they're live beings, okay? Let's kind of bring our minds to Transformers world. And they're made of metal and they drink oil. Basically. No, babe, hold on.
Okay.
I'm trying to help people.
Let it free flow. But don't drink that.
No. I'm talking about Transformers, not the aliens.
Oh.
The Transformers were not made. They are, created just like we are. They have, abilities to reproduce by the spark or whatever. So the thing is, we have to think that, if we see movies like Transformers where things that are made of metal can and drink oil and grease, and all that, that there are probably some aliens out there that are made of the elements of the earth. We are made of the elements of the earth because we're carbon-based life forms that house a bunch of mechanical junk inside our body to keep us alive, like our heart, our stomachs, our brains. It's all mechanical. And that's how we're able to move, think, feel, dream, whatever. But what if a group of beings is nothing like you ever seen before? It's sort of looks like the spaghetti monster, but it's like looking at dreadlocks that's all wired up and goes up, but it's all metallic. And they communicate by, using telepathy. They don't have eyes. They are able to see the world by energy. EMs. They have the ability to see every light spectrum that's out there and able to determine which light spectrum they want to look at the time. They have the ability they're much more evolved than us. Far, far more evolved. And there are a lot of alien races that are not as evolved. They're probably like either the same as we are or a little bit more. Like, okay, conspiracy theory, UFOs you see, like the Greys and all that. They are evolved higher than we are, but not as evolved as this race. This is the oldest and most evolved race in the whole entire universe. And so the Aryans who are fighting against, and this is going to be brought up in the second season, they look like humanoids. They're fair complexion. They got long hair. They got and they're blue eyes, green eyes, and they are fighting against this race, which we haven't quite named yet. But maybe it's an unknown name. They're so evolved that they don't need a name.
No, you can't name it.
Yeah, it's hard. They don't need a name. It's like, remember in the Star Trek, you got Q, and everybody's name's Q, and whenever you say, well, Q did it, everybody knows who you're talking about because it's just the way it is. It's like everybody knows when you say Q, you are talking about one particular person, even though everybody's named Q. It's you just know. Oh yeah, well, my son, that Q did it. My son Q. You.
Meet Q.
I am Q. Well, I'm Q too.
Okay. Okay, Janeway, meet Q.
Meet Q.
And it's
Q.
The female Q.
Right. It's. I think they tried to create the inevitable being. The what's it?
What?
What do they call those beings? They're
omnipotent.
Omnipotent. Yes.
Yes. These aliens are omnipotent.
Yeah, they are omnipotent, and they are perfect. Nothing like the perfect creature that you saw in Fifth Element. Okay, nothing like Q.
But not humanoid.
And non-humanoid at all. I mean, you look at this creature, and if he's sitting still, you think it's a piece of artwork sitting in the middle of a building, a sculpture.
No, honestly, if people saw this, they would be scared out of their minds. You would go screaming, running, seriously.
Well, yeah. I mean, it doesn't. People won't even know what it is.
Mm-mm.
People won't even know what it is.
No, they would try to kill it immediately.
Right. Can they die?
No.
They cannot be killed.
No. That's why any futile attempts that we have made to get the aliens just doesn't work.
But other aliens are able to be caught because their technology is not as great as theirs.
Well, they're not as evolved.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
see, like the Greys, the Aryans, and stuff like that.
Right. They come because
their technology is good.
Violence lowers your elevation.
Mm-hmm.
The need or the want, domination lowers your evolution. All of those feelings lower your ability to evolve.
Because these aliens, they have no need to be dominant because
they don't have to dominate us.
Right. It's like
we got our own home. All we were trying to do was an experiment.
Right. We were experimenting on Earth and to see if everything works out. It didn't work out quite as well. And maybe the Delia's father is a scientist.
Wait, hold on. Maybe the first experiment they did was with dinosaurs, and when it didn't work, they wiped them out.
They wiped them out, changed the DNA so that the T-Rex becomes a chicken, and then made humans.
Exactly.
See how that works.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And they say, okay, this is better, but it's not quite what we wanted.
Right. So, but they look at us, and it's like, we don't have to bother with wiping them out. They're going to wipe themselves out.
Right. But we got to save a few.
Well, they want to save the children. They want to save their children. My father wants to save me.
Mm-hmm.
Or Delia's father wants to save her.
Right. Okay, I like that.
Yeah. They want to save, some of them did procreate. some of them did create, and they have watched over, their children, and they want to save them. And that's why we need to evolve to go back with the aliens. We need to just go back. And that's why Gideon gets saved, because he watched out for Delia.
All right. We got it.
I want to watch this show. Oh, Lord. I want this show to be on TV, like, now. It would be something I would watch.
Yeah. Most definitely.
It really would.
And if we add the cliffhangers in the right places, that will keep people want to come back.
That is what you guys are there to do.